This week, a high challenger player was ID banned for 30 days after posting about their low elo smurf going 40-0. Riot, for their part, say they're enforcing newly announced rules regarding smurfs, but those rules do still have some space for interpretation, and as much as we all hate smurfs, is eliminating them even possible?
Okay guys, before we get into it, I just wanted to thank Anthros for sponsoring this video. If you spend serious hours gaming, you know how much your setup matters, and your chair is a critical part of that. Anthros isn't a typical gaming chair brand. They started in the medical world designing wheelchair cushions that support spinal alignment and reduce pressure. Now they've brought that same expertise to create one of the most advanced ergonomic chairs available. That's exactly why Anthros was chosen as the official chair of ESL and DreamHack, showing that it's a performance tool trusted by top esports professionals. Anthros chairs offer unmatched customizability, using in-depth scientific data to ensure a tailor-made experience that maximizes your comfort and performance. Anthros is so committed to your satisfaction that they even offer a no-risk 60-day trial on their chairs, giving you the chance to truly make sure it's right for you. We've been using the Anthros chair ourselves, and the difference is clear. Premium materials, elite adjustability, and all-day comfort. So if performance matters to you, whether you're grinding ranked or working long hours, check out Anthros using the link in the description and upgrade your setup. Now, back to today's story.
2 weeks ago, Riot released a dev blog and a video about their new goals in targeting Smurf accounts, alongside the WASDA announcement that we've already talked about. Now, if you've played League for long enough, you'll know that smurfing has been a problem since the earliest days of the game. But these days, the rank system detects a smurf pretty quickly. A high elo player in a silver lobby will generally get promoted into higher ranks, getting huge LP gains and/or skipping ranks entirely so that they don't ruin the experience for less skilled players over a huge number of games. But even then, there's no question that truly new players will run into people with far more experience pretty fast.
It is insufferable to be new at this game, and it's double when you have to stream it. I don't think League players have the ability to even fathom that someone doesn't know what every single champion in this game does. It blows my mind. Like, it doesn't compute because they've been playing it for 15 years. Every single person is a smurf. Not a single person is like not on their 80th account. It's almost surprising when someone's actually new.
The reality that even low-level players are much more experienced than truly new players isn't something Riot is going to fix overnight, and there's certainly a huge burden of knowledge required to get good at League. But there's also no question that facing someone who's vastly better than you at the game is just not fun, and that's where the new changes come in. Since earlier this year, Riot has been rolling out a new system designed to target bad actors in games, but unlike their previous systems, they're actively refunding LP to players affected in particularly egregious games, and it's been a major priority for the game's most senior devs.
I would say that I'm most excited about our negative behavior stuff. I think that negative behavior has been a thing that's been around in League for a long time, and players have honestly gotten pretty, I don't want to say immune to it, but like they just put up with it, right? And I don't think they need to put up with it. And I think we've made a lot of technological advancements recently that will allow us to just crack down a lot harder in situations where players need to be cracked down on, and rewarded in situations where they feel like they are being honorable and good stewards of the game.
Now, in their announcement, Riot specifically noted 3 situations where they'd be cracking down on smurfs specifically: boosting, hitchhiking, and botted accounts. Basically, they're coming for players that have someone else queue on their account to inflate their elo, duo with a booster to get carried, or who buy botted accounts for any purpose. And that seems like a good place to start. But even Riot's own post acknowledges there's some grey areas left over, and that's where things get a little more interesting. Which brings us to Pentalus, a high elo new player who, at their peak, has been 2000 LP and rank 1 on the server. It's safe to say they're extremely good at the game. But last week, they got a lot of negative attention after tweeting a screenshot of an undefeated 40-0 Smurf account in low platinum. They wrote, quote, "I don't understand how people can have hundreds of games on a jungler in low elo and still consistently fail the 330 full clear, end quote. It's easy to understand how this post frustrated some people. This is a high challenger player playing their main champion, seemingly bragging about making it to plat. Players were also quick to point out that an account with 40 straight wins only making it to plat 4 suggests it started in a very low elo, like Iron. People accused Pentalus of buying the account, and soon a Rioter named Drew Levin got involved. Levin is one of the public faces of Riot's attempts to clamp down on bad behavior in-game, and is routinely tagged in threads where people are complaining about, or in this case sort of bragging about, skirting Riot's TOS, and he came in pretty hot. In the end, Pentalus has maintained that they level the account personally by playing against bots. They said in a follow-up post that the account was created around the same time as Core JJ's famous NA solo queue account, which also started in Iron, giving it its old name from Iron. Now, we don't have access to Pentalus's account information, and honestly, for our purposes, we don't need it. What we know for sure is that all their accounts received a 30-day ban for rank manipulation, and I think that's where things get interesting. See, Riot added rank manipulation as a report category back in June. In their post, they say they've started getting data from these reports, and they're penalizing accounts and refunding players LP who were affected, just like they've started doing for players who cheat, leave games, or otherwise sabotage a match. But what exactly is rank manipulation, and where do we draw the line? Riot are aware that some players create alt accounts for various reasons, like practicing a new champion or role. For now, they say those accounts are in a grey area and won't be targeted. But I think this is where we have to acknowledge just how ubiquitous multiple accounts are among League players. I don't really know anyone who's played the game for a considerable amount of time and not made another account. And there's systemic reasons for that. Ranked in League is a punishing environment, and one that doesn't always work perfectly if you can't give it a large enough sample size. Speaking for myself, I once created a fresh account when I felt like I'd hit a wall in my LP gains, then sailed past the rank I was stuck at on my main, playing the same champions in the same roles, and I'm far from the only player who's done this. But it's also true that Masters Plus players farm lower elos for content or just for fun, and historically, Riot has not always banned those players. If you've ever scrolled through your YouTube feed and seen crazy thumbnails and titles about one-shotting players with a highly off-meta build or completing the road to Challenger, there's a decent chance part of the story is a Grandmaster player farming gold opponents for clips. And sure, you might say those people deserve to be penalized if they're ruining the game for normal players, but what about educational streamers? For example, we're a fan of a jungle content creator named Kire, who routinely plays on lower elo accounts to demonstrate the way the concepts work in silver or gold compared to more skilled brackets.
Alright guys, another game in the gold elo. Let's start cooking here, guys. We're playing Lee Sin against Nidalee.
On the one hand, that's a public service, and you can learn a lot from videos like this. On the other, a regular gold player who was actually in the server just got stomped by a challenger jungler. Does a player like Kire deserve to be punished? So where exactly do we draw the line? I think it might be a bit more complicated than some people online have assumed. Don't get me wrong, I'm personally glad to see Riot taking a stand against Smurfs, along with a dozen other frustrations regular players have dealt with for years, and getting an LP refund after a terrible experience genuinely feels pretty good. But until we have a bit more clarity in where the line is drawn, I don't think this is the last time we'll see some confusion in the community.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.